I'm Natalie Fuller. I'm from Las Vegas, Nevada. I go to Northwest Career and Technical Academy, and I'm in their Culinary Arts program, but specifically baking and pastry. This past year I've been to participate in the Nevada State FCCLA cupcake decorating competition, and so today I'm going to be making for you what I did. My black tie was like mise en place everything. Mise en place means to put everything together, to put everything in its place. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make my roses. What I'm going to cut the top off of one of my cupcakes. My piping bag is filled. I have a stick to put it on and my scissors to take it off. So first let's get rid of our little muffin top. I'm going to make some roses. I use a stick, you can also use a nail. This is just my preference, and just kind of go to town. Always start with the bud and just take it around, and then you make rainbows. That's how my chef instructor taught me. Once you start down, you come up and over. You always go in odd numbers, 3, 5, 7, because that's how a rose looks. But after 5, you have a nice rose. You take it off with your scissors, just put it down. You've got a little bouquet of roses. The next cupcakes I'm going to do, they're just going to have a dollop of icing. So again, like I did with our last ones, I'm going to cut the tops so there's a nice even surface to work with. And then we'll dollop. In between each of these takes, I am cleaning up. Oh, that didn't work. So that I do maintain a clean workspace, because cleanliness is something that I was judged very hard on. So 2 simple cupcakes, and we'll come back to those a little bit later. So the next thing I'm going to work with is my fondant. I'm going to start with the white, and then we'll do the black. Because it's a black tie theme, we're going to be making little tuxedos. This is just powdered sugar that I'm putting down. It'll keep the fondant from sticking. First I'm going to work with it a little bit to smooth it out, because this is older fondant. And then we'll roll it out and cut it 3 circles. We're doing 3 circles. Yeah, alright. So now that my fondant's all rolled out and it's all one even disc, I don't know how that works. I'm going to use a cutter. This is a different one than I used for competition, but it's cuter. And I always cut out 4 just to be safe, even though I'm only going to use 3 of them, because you never know. And I leave my fondant covered so that it doesn't dry out. So we'll put these aside. When I first started to compete for FCCLA, I thought about doing a spring theme because it was in March, and I figured March and spring go hand in hand. And after about, I don't know, a week of practicing, I realized that I was not going to be able to do that. And so I tried to fix it, and I was like, oh, I'll just do flowers. Flowers are pretty. And then a friend of mine came up to me one day during my practice time. She goes, Nat, everybody's doing spring. And I stopped, and I got really upset really quickly, because FCCLA was in like 2 weeks, and I had no idea what I was going to be doing. And so I stopped and I took a breath and I sat down, and I had a few kids come up to me and they were like, Nat, what are you doing? And I was like, I'm thinking. For anybody who knows me, that's a big surprise. And so I was sitting there and I was thinking, and the day before we had been working on some of our plated desserts in my culinary class, and one of the girls had made a tuxedo, and I thought that it was the cutest thing ever. And so I thought about it, and I was like, I can make a tuxedo. And so I did, and I practiced making a tuxedo for a little while. And then I kept thinking about it, and I was like, well, what could I do instead of just a tuxedo? And I thought about the roses that I'd been working on for so long, and I thought about all the other things that I could be doing, the polka dots that I wanted to keep in theme. And I finally realized a black tie, like a wedding. And that's how I came up with this theme. I ran into a brick wall. I was like, it has to be black tie. So I practiced and I cried a lot because I got really frustrated. And it was something that was a lot simpler than I thought it was going to be. My mom helped me out a lot. So I've cut out black and white fondant now. I'm going to use the black The black I've cut out in circles and then cut into fourths, and I'm going to use that as the jacket to it. And so I'm putting just a little bit of icing on the underneath side to stick it together. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to work with my gel. The button down in the middle first to connect the two black pieces, and it hides if there's a space in the middle that I missed. Real quick, I made a little parchment paper piping bag just so I can get my bow ties a little bit smaller than that. Took a little bit of getting there, but now I've got 3 little tuxedos. Even with cupcakes, paws not claws is still the rule, so you don't cut your fingers off. For you, Chef Smith. Okay. And then just so they stick, a little bit of icing. Product waste was also something that I was graded on, so making sure that I didn't have too much icing was super important. I got a 10 on that. So, okay. And then we will take our little ice. Just drop them on top, make sure they're even. Now I have all 6 of my cupcakes started, 4 of them finished. Now we'll do the polka dots, and then we'll finish with the drizzle, and we'll be done. Elegance is definitely what I wanted to go for. This design probably took the most criticism and the most thinking. The chef instructors at my school were like, nah, this could look better. So with a lot of critique, I finally got it. These dots are a little bit bigger than I prefer, but I'm rolling with it. And then we've got our polka dot. I took my gel, I cut off the top because it wasn't coming out fast enough. I put it in a bowl, threw some water. I whisked it together really quick, and I put it in the piping bag, and it wouldn't go in the piping bag, and I'm like freaking out. I had less than a minute left. One cupcake is gonna stand in my way. I was so mad. And so I put it in, and this lady goes, you have 20 seconds, and I just drizzled this cupcake, and it turned out okay. The second she called time, I let go of it on the cake stand, and I was like, it's done. I made a paste, I thinned it out, and I can use it at the end of about an hour. This is just about what I had. This got me a 95 out of 100 on my score. Got me a nice gold medal. This was a great learning experience. I had a lot of fun doing it, and it definitely went along with something that I love doing. Yeah.